Hey guys, welcome back to Counseling Minus the Bull with Candace. We're back today. It's going to be another video. This video, get right to the point. It's going to be about how I like in corrections. In the correction setting actually, right? So in the jail, long story short. If you're new, welcome to the channel. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We usually start with our check-ins. Our check-ins are how you're feeling. As long as it's positive, you can put it below in the comments. Amazing, positive, beautiful. Take all the positive and support over here where we are on a journey of love, growth, and healing. And you're with Candace. So I'm back. I want to do a video about just my experience so far as a therapist, LPC, working in corrections, working in the jail. So I've been there almost going on 10 months. Yes, still kind of fresh, kind of new. But for me, I love it. For the most part, my job, getting to see the different diagnoses. I know it's some behavioral things as well going on, but this is the setting, this is the field, the population that I had kind of intended to go ahead and wanted to work with later in my career. However, I just felt like in the beginning when I was applying for the job, like, okay, this is like a later thing. I don't think this is something that I actually want to do right now. I want to kind of work on my skills and things. However, I heard about it. I got an email saying come to the virtual hiring fair. At that point, I was kind of content where I was at, working in a hospital setting, doing IOP groups, intensive outpatient programming, and then there's just a lot of going on in that department, in that environment I was at. Everyone, like my coworkers, quit on me. Everything was kind of like falling on me, but I was still kind of content trying to hold it down. So that was that. Got the email, went to interview, didn't submit anything I needed to submit. Went to the fair, hopped on, didn't submit anything I needed to submit. It was like, oh, I'm not going to get past them looking at my resume. Oh, I'm not going to get past the interview. Oh, I just did the interview. And I was like, oh my God, I just did the interview and it actually went good. So I was jumping up and down, really excited, really happy. I was actually on my getting ready for work because at that time I started work pretty late, like around noon. So I was able to do the virtual fair in the morning. So the call was, you're supposed to get the call later on that day, in the evening, in the afternoon, I'm sorry. And that's how you know you got the job. So went ahead, went to work. I was doing my groups. I was in the middle of a group. And I was like, hold on, this is a familiar looking phone number. It's like, oh my gosh, that's them. So I know I got it in that moment. However, I couldn't answer the phone call. And I was in the middle of a group for my hospital position. And just to know that they called just was like nerve-wracking. Get there, of course you're nervous. I kind of worked in a jail setting before. It was a work release jail. So they were working with men that were incarcerated due to having substance abuse issues. But they were on work release, so they can get out, come to work, and then they have to come back, and they're like locked up from there. And that's when I was a case manager. I was like, oh, this is kind of like the population I would want to work in, but I'll get back to it. Little I know, quicker than I thought. So I've been here 10 months. What I like about it, can I say? I like seeing the various diagnoses, right? So private practice, you can kind of pick your clients. You're going to see depression, you're going to see anxiety, you're going to see the different diagnoses as well. But private practice is more like kind of for independent individuals, patients, clients, can function still, may have some impairments, but they're usually like the higher functioning. And then if not, you do what's needed. refer them to where they need or hospitalization, so on. So I like being able to see different diagnoses. I can see the different levels of independent patients. I can see dependent, meaning they need meds, they need help with self-care, they need, just mentally, they have those like personality disorders or schizophrenia, just the stuff that requires a little bit more support. So get that range there. Also, this was, like I said, this was something that, as I was working in a case manager position and I was working with a man that was incarcerated due to their substance abuse, it was kind of like I was there with them and then in the jail, and then also once they were released in the community, we had like 6 months with them for re-entry services. So still have to go be the case manager, go do home visits, resources, check in. So that gave me that aspect. Right now, I don't have that re-entry going on. It's kind of more so like if they return back to jail. There are limited. So one of the things that's kind of in every sector I discovered, there are limited resources in every sector, right? So once you get out, of course, the social worker kind of takes the role from that point to get them lined back up with their services, with their meds, with housing, stuff like that. So that's something I don't have to do. Something I missed a little bit, I'm not going to lie, but I was never too big on the home visits in the first place, What else? But it has made me knowledgeable for my position now. So if they're asking me about resources in the community, I'm able to say that, like, hey, go here for your ID, go here for your birth certificate, go here for this, this, and this, and this. They can help you, Of course, I got the social worker, but also I know some of the resources. What else? What I like to, I like to set schedule. My hours are kind of set for the most part. I do have flexibility to work overtime. I have not been. What I could say? What else do I like? My pros, right? The diagnosis, the flexibility. Well, actually having a set schedule, having available overtime. Holidays are pretty good. Pretty happy with kind of like the balance and things that it's given me. Cons. So cons. Of course, safety is the biggest thing. You want to keep yourself safe at all times. You have other people that's involved, which is excellent. But you also just want to make sure that, you're checking out of your corners. You want to build good rapport with people. You have to work with quite a few people that's also involved. So it's a lot of different little moving parts. I will say we have this thing called mandation. I'm not too fond about that because you're kind of forced to work. So that's a con for me. What else I will say? Schedule. So my schedule, I work Tuesday through Saturday. They have another schedule where you can work Sunday through Thursday. And then you have the various shifts that you can do as well. So my ideal situation would be Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, 8 to 4, something like that. I know with each job, each situation, each career, there's going to be something. So you have to choose what works for you and what's fitting for you. And for me, the good outweighs the bad. And I love what I do, so it's worth it. So those are my pros. Those are my pros. Those are my cons. I'm still new. I'm still learning. It's so big. It's so many people to work with. I love being able to serve other people. As far as mental health, educate them about that, have awareness, um, and just be working with this population. That's my biggest thing. Adults, uh, and actively helping people that um, may not have this support, or just may have been like just in the wrong system, right? You're in a system for something that you could have done because of substance abuse, because of your mental status, because just a lot of moving parts, right? You're in a cycle. Um, and I know nothing is perfect, right? Things can be done different ways, but this is what gets me going, right? So my challenge is find something that gets you going, guys, right? Try the different settings and see what works for you. I kind of bounced around until I found the place where I was like, okay, I'm actually wanting to get work shirts and work uniforms and decorating my office, right? This was like really new for me. Worried about my pension and planning and things like that, right? So I challenge you to find your niche, to find your passion, and to go after it and do it. And if you're having some self-doubt, like I mentioned in the video, skate through it, right? Go through it, see how it goes, push yourself. You can do it. And even if it does not turn out the way it's planned, it's going to lead you to your final destination. So guys, let me know if you got any more questions for me. I did my pros, I did my cons, I did why is my passion. If you want to know anything more, very general, very short, very to the point, let me know in the comments. Now, I'm not going to share too much examples, details, nothing like that. But if you have some brief questions or just something that can be answered appropriately, let me know. See you guys soon. Bye, guys.